we're gonna deliver on time, and he's gonna rue the day that he gave us the exact working conditions we've been asking for the last 15 to 20 years.
I love this show so much. I'm always so excited when it comes back. It's easily one of my favorites. And what I love about the season, I really love the management versus the creative. And what I find interesting is you are kind of on both sides of that with Mythic Quest. So what is that like for you? And did that kind of inspire part of the story?
Yeah, I've always straddled that line, and not necessarily by choice. I mean, I started way back when as just on the creative side of things as an actor, out of work actor, who then had to learn how to write and make my own thing. I never really thought of myself as being on the other side, on the producing side or in the studio side. And yet, just by nature of the way that Sunny evolved, I was able to sort of straddle that fence and be on both sides of it. And so I've had a lot of experience with it, which makes things a lot easier. But in some ways, it makes things a lot harder too, because that I'm sort of in that centrist position where I can understand, because at first you're like, when you're just a creative, you're like, oh, it's all just a bunch of suits and they don't know what they're talking about, and let us be free to make our art. And then you're on the other side of things and you hear the rationale behind some of the decision making and you go, well, okay, some of that does make a point. And these crazy artist types, they're just running amok with all of the money and there's no business. And so you realize like, oh, wow, wait, I understand both sides of this position. Now where do I stand? And I always wind up leaning back towards the creative, but nevertheless, it's still a difficult position to be in sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of, there's a decision that was made that finally we have Charlie making an appearance here, which fans went crazy when they saw that in the little teaser. Can you talk about the decision, like waiting for the right time for Charlie to come in?
Yeah, I mean, look, some of it's scheduling and some of it was just finding the best time to bring him in, and a character that we knew he would crush. And we've been talking about it for years because literally spent more than half the year with him every day together in a room. So it was just a matter of timing and finding that right character. And we knew right from the very beginning that character was probably going to be written for him, and he was into it.
He kills it. He's the best. So good.
He kills everything.
I mean, he's always good, but like, man, that episode is so great. And I think he takes it to the next level for sure.
Agreed.
Absolutely. And then one thing I want to talk about too is I love Ian and Poppy's relationship. And I love that they are forced to work with themselves in this season. And what do you think it is about their relationship that makes them work so well together?
I think it's because they recognize that they need each other. And neither one of them want to admit that. And we literally say that in the pilot, that they need each other and they hate that they need each other, but they need each other. And of course, what comes along with that too, they love each other deeply, but that doesn't mean they always like each other. And so that is what creates, I think, really complex and fun characters to write. People who love each other but don't like each other, but are forced together because together they are better at creating that thing than they are apart. It's like a band who you find out hate each other, but they make this beautiful music together. Is the world better off for it? Okay, and if that's the case, then they have to navigate the difficulties of their relationship.
Yeah, and then final question. I do love them together. They're so perfect. Final question. I do want to ask you about the little time jump in there, because if you can talk about it, because I was watching and all of a sudden I was like, whoa. Can you talk about the necessity of that to drive the story forward?
Yes. Well, it was just a function of reality, but this happened with Caitlin actually twice as well. And one time, and by happen, I mean she got pregnant. The first time we were able to hide it on Sunny, and the second time we were unable to hide it, and so we or maybe it was the other way around. Either way, we realized with Charlotte, maybe we could get away with it for a couple of weeks, but otherwise, here we go. And I remember she called us and said, obviously gave us this incredible news, and was concerned about how it would affect the show. And we were like, this is the greatest gift you could give us. First of all, always you approach those situations as a human being first, and you're so happy for her and her family. And then you go, great, now this gives us an opportunity to write to it, and it gives us so much more to write about. And that's what the whole second half of the season's about.
It's so good. I can't wait for the finale. I only got 9 episodes, and it's killing me.
I know. I'm only finding out that people don't have the finale, and I know why, because it's a bombshell, and I feel like it'll be really fun for people to finally see it.
I can't wait. I love this show. Congratulations on everything you do. Big fan. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Doesn't do anything half-assed. Whoa! What is happening?
I'm totally and completely naked, David.
I can see that. Why?